All right, welcome everyone to the third Winter Streak workshop. We're halfway through already. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Brandy Hellman. I'm the Community Health Engagement Representative at WellSpan Health. We're going to be cooking some sweet potato quesadillas tonight. Just a few notes before we get started. If you haven't already done so, I see some of you are doing that. Thank you. Please put your first and last name into the chat so we can track attendance. Sometimes usernames don't show first and last name, so we want to make sure we can track you for entries for our prizes. Any questions, please feel free to throw them into the chat and we will address those towards the end of the workshop. This is being recorded. It will be sent out in a link in an email from me before the end of the week. It will also have a survey link to this evaluation. Please remember, if you take those, you also get an extra entry into our prizes. And I think that that's all I have. So I will hand it over to Christine and Jamie.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Christine. And I'm Jamie. Thank you for joining us. We are very excited to make sweet potato quesadillas with you this evening. One thing I will tell you is that in this room, this recipe involves cooking on a stovetop, and our equipment, it has a fan on it. So when we do turn on that fan, we're going to do our best to project over the fan, but let us know if you can't hear something clearly, and we'll do our best to make sure you can hear. All right, so Jamie and I have been busy before this, before we jumped on camera. We started by baking the sweet potatoes. So they came out, we peeled them, we diced them, and now Jamie is going to mush them or mash them. Right, no worries. And while she does that, I am going to slice the yellow bell pepper and some onions. So did you know the difference between yellow peppers and green peppers? I did not know. So actually, yellow, red, orange pepper, they are just green peppers that are more ripened. And the nice thing that happens when peppers are more ripe, they taste sweeter. But some people who don't necessarily like peppers might prefer the yellow or orange or red pepper because it'll give it a little bit of sweetness as it ripens. I love yellow peppers. They're very pretty. They're beautiful. Also dicing, slicing up our onion. So another great vegetable to include. So one thing, did you know February is sweet potato month? I learned that today. We did this at noon, so I gave her all my fun facts. Yeah, so February is sweet potato month. And so it is actually another fun fact. Did you know that the sweet potato is not actually a potato? It's a tuber or root veggie, and it's really common in the winter months. So very easily accessible this time of year. All right, so Jamie, we are going to get some olive oil in our pan. And olive oil is a great heart healthy oil that you can use to saute your veggies, and it's just going to soften them up and make them easy in your quesadilla. Yeah, bunch of good veggies here. We're going to add in. And then we're going to flavor those veggies. We have some minced garlic and just some pepper to taste. So we're going to add that in now. Garlic and onions are actually allium vegetables, so they're really good for anti-inflammatory and immune boosting properties. The flavors. So while that cooks, Jamie, where are you from? I'm originally from Colombia, South America. Thank you for asking. Yes. So in Colombia, are quesadillas pretty common, or is? I would say not very common. Maybe in the last few years it has become more popular, but we are more of the rice and regular potatoes, the real potatoes. So I'm really looking forward for this recipe because I love sweet potatoes, and having it mixed with tortillas, it's really, really good. I do have a question. Sure. The tortillas are like coming in different flavors, types. Which one is a good option or the best option? I like to tell people there's really not one option that's better than another. We're using a whole wheat tortilla this evening, which is great. It's gonna give you a bit more fiber than some of the other tortillas. But I really encourage you to embrace your culture and what you enjoy. And if you choose one that's corn or flour based, that's maybe not as high in fiber, you can always boost up the fiber with beans or extra veggies. So, I encourage you to just really choose what you prefer. And there could be benefits to everything. But Jamie, you made a really cool point about the white potatoes. So sometimes they get a bad rap here in America as not being very healthy. The nice thing is they're still a vegetable. They're still going to give you lots of good nutrients like potassium. But what happens is sometimes in America, in our culture, our cooking methods make them a bit more unhealthy. So we're frying them into French fries, or we're adding whole milk and mashed butter to make mashed potatoes. So I love that you guys use a lot more of the white potatoes. The goal with adding vegetables to your diet is really color variety. You get different nutrients with each color variety of vegetables that you incorporate. So the more the better. And as you can see this evening, we have the orange sweet potatoes, the yellow peppers, and the white onions. So we're 3 for 3. That's awesome. What other vegetables can you use in this recipe? Yeah, so typically peppers and onions are going to be more of your traditional quesadilla ingredients. But I really encourage you to make it your own. So experiment. Some other options can be tomatoes, low sodium olives, jalapenos if you want a bit of a kick. But you can also really mix it up and choose any of your favorite. We were talking to some of the people on the call earlier who they wanted to try butternut squash. And I was like, that's fantastic. You mentioned you really like greens like kale, another really cool option. So, the fun thing about recipes is hopefully they're versatile and you can really make them your own. Quesadillas are an awesome quick meal, right? It's the weekday, it's Wednesday, family life is busy. So it's just a really quick, healthy meal that doesn't require a lot of stuff. But the goal is just to take some of your favorite family recipes and find ways to incorporate more fiber, more whole grains, more vegetables. And this is a crowd pleaser. Everybody loves quesadillas. Yes, and Jamie made it for her family recently and they enjoyed it. Right. As I was practicing for this demo, I then wanted to try with my family and friends and they really loved it. It has a good combination of sweet and cheese, obviously, which is perfect. Yeah, in fact, cheese is the next step. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just spread some low-fat pepper jack cheese on the bottom of the quesadilla in our pan. And we just choose low fat because it's gonna be less of that unhealthy saturated fat. We're just gonna put that on, spread it around and let it get nice and melted. I did some research about sweet potatoes, and these are some trivia questions that I'm going to ask you, if you remember from our previous session. So sweet potatoes is the official vegetable of which state? I remember. It's not Pennsylvania, I'll give you that hint. Yeah, sweet potatoes are from North Carolina originally, huh? North Carolina. Very cool. The other thing I learned is that NASA has chosen sweet potatoes to be the vegetable, one of the crops vegetables they take on space missions. Because of the nutrition. Yeah. And because you get fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C. Exactly. NASA knows what they're doing. Yes. So that's a extra point for them. And also something I wanted to share is how we call sweet potatoes in different parts of South America. Well, we don't have them in Colombia, in Peru, or in the Andean countries. They are called camotes. They're very popular there. My family from Peru eats them. That's how I was introduced to them at this point. And I'm happy to say that now that I'm here in the US, I love to have them for Thanksgiving. So it's great. So how do they prepare them in Peru? They typically, it's a side dish. They would have them with a fish dish. So the flavors are very complementary, so they will, the fish is typically with, lime or, onion, and then the sweet potato will come through that flavor, so it's. Oh, that's fun, so the sweet with the savory. Yeah. That's fun, awesome. You know, I'm learning a lot from you today. So now we're gonna do, so we got the cheese melted, we have our mashed sweet potato, and we're really just gonna spread that onto the top of the cheese layer. Get that a little bit toasted, and we're gonna top it with our vegetable mixture. Again, this is super easy for a busy weeknight. So, and again, make it your own. So not only could you do what we're doing, but you can even add some protein if you want, right? So you can get easy protein and fiber by adding black beans or pinto beans. You can even add, you know, healthier options, cleaner meats like ground chicken, ground turkey, shredded chicken, give it a little bit of protein from that angle. So really, again, these are great versatile recipes that you can make your own. It smells delicious. It smells really delicious. And so now we're just going to flip it like a quesadilla and make sure both sides are nice and toasty. How about toppings? What can we add on top? So this recipe that we're going to share with you actually didn't call for any toppings, but that's a really awesome way that you can also add a nutritional boost, right? So you could add some fresh salsa or pico de gallo to get an extra vegetable serving. Even something like a heart healthy guacamole, we will give you that heart healthy fat, which is another great option. How about sour cream? Oh, you know what? I know sour cream can be popular on quesadillas. It's really thinking about the portions, right? Sometimes we can load on that sour cream and think about the portions, and also maybe choose a lower fat option to reduce some of that saturated fat. I think that I have to confess that's my problem. If the food is good, I want to eat more. Yeah. Are there any advice, you know, things that I can do to be more mindful and just be satisfied with? Absolutely. Well, the first thing you're doing is you're making a healthy recipe, right? So all of these vegetables and the whole grains, they have the fiber that helps to keep us full and satisfied. So sometimes that helps. But they also really encourage mindfulness. So sometimes we eat with a lot of distractions in day-to-day life, right? And it's easy for that quesadilla to be gone before we really even tasted it or realized if we enjoyed it or not. So sometimes just taking a minute to slow down while we eat, enjoy each bite, and take a mindful pause can really help understand your own body's hunger cues too. Almost like trying to make it a ritual of pausing. Absolutely, absolutely. You're making these delicious meals. You should enjoy them. All right, so we're gonna complete it now. Well, this has been really cool, Jamie. I enjoyed learning about your culture and different traditional foods. Hopefully you guys learned something from us about a heart healthy recipe. Not only is it sweet potato month, but it is also heart month. And sweet potatoes are again rich in fiber. And fiber is associated with lower cholesterol, blood pressure, blood glucose, and that in turn can reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. So if you're looking to make dietary changes, you can't go wrong by adding vegetables like sweet potatoes. But if you're looking for individual options that really suit your individual needs, definitely talk to your physician or registered dietitian for the best foods to incorporate individually. Thank you. And I did notice, well, I was researching how to get to this location about the different events that are being hosted this month for Heart Health Month. Yeah. So I would encourage you to visit wellspun.org, our events, and also to learn more about veggies. Sweet potatoes was the future vegetable market basket. It was the future vegetable in January for market basket of the month. And there is a great recipe there. You can go to www.wellspun.org/market basket to learn about this month's vegetable and which is actually oranges. Yes. Yeah. You can download information and also find information in Spanish. We have a lot of resources there, and I hope that that's something that you can research and share with others. Oh my goodness, look how delicious this looks, everybody.
Yes, that's cheese.
So we're gonna take some time for some questions for you, but then Jamie and I are gonna go split dinner.
Yes.
Thank you both so much. That looks delicious. Does anyone have any questions for Christine and Jamie? While we're waiting to see, I'm gonna throw a link here in the chat. This is to our Winter Streak Wellness Guide. In the back of the guide is the recipe for the sweet potato quesadillas. Like they mentioned, please feel free to modify this. There's tons of different ways you can make it. A lot of the different resources they spoke about, I will put this link in here as well, or at winterstreak.org. So that's there for you as well.
All right, I see one question. They're asking, where can I get those tortillas?
These specific tortillas are a bit large. So the recipe calls for like the smaller 8-inch quesadilla tortilla. We, for cooking demos, get things commercially brought into us, so I'm not sure that this particular quesadilla would even be available in any local stores. But your goal is just to look for a higher fiber, if you're looking for the fiber content, quesadilla tortilla, 2 to 3 grams of fiber per tortilla.
Can you refrigerate leftovers?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is a great question. What did you think of the Kentucky Fried Chicken bowl with fries and mashed potatoes? Terrible.
Wait, what's the question?
Is it a good thing?
Well, a lot of times your fast food like Kentucky Fried Chicken and such are going to be higher in salt and your saturated fat. So, most things can fit into healthy eating. Just think about your portion sizes and think about how much, how often.
What temperature do you cook the quesadilla?
We just turned our oven on, our stovetop on to like 170, right?
I would say like a medium.
Medium heat. It depends on your stovetop.
Thank you. Any other questions? Make sure nobody has any more.
I know a question earlier today was, do they come to your house and cook these for you?
I would love that.
We like to give you the tools to make it yourself. Again, it's very easy.
You can have friends and help, arrange everything so that you can all make a meal together.
Get the family involved. I bet the kids would love mashing those sweet potatoes. Mine would love to make a mess doing that.
That's a lot of times what comes with the preparation is that opportunity to be with others, with your family, even if they don't do it perfect. Quesadillas are foolproof, literally, it's really nothing not many things that could go wrong.
And you're setting the tone for healthy eating for everybody in your family, which is hopefully the goal.
Absolutely. We'll make sure no other questions come through, but I want to give a huge thank you to Jamie, Christine, and Sandy. I really appreciate you presenting for us this evening. Not seeing any more come through. I'm going to ask one more time in case anybody didn't hear me the first time, but please make sure that you put your first and last name into the chat so we can get you into those entries for the prizes. Our next workshop takes place in 2 weeks, February 21st. Like I said, we're halfway through this workshop, or the series already. So it's going to focus on how to stay on track and motivated if you start to lapse anywhere. I'm seeing names come through. Thank you. And don't forget, when you do sign up and you attend those workshops on the 21st, that counts for 2 entries. So make sure that you register for those. Like I said, you can register for that at winterstreak.org. And again, this is being recorded and the link will be sent out from an email from me before the end of the week. You'll have the link to the eval to please provide your feedback on that as well, and you'll get an extra entry into the prizes for that too. I'm not seeing any more questions, so we will wrap up. Thank you all again so much for attending this evening, and we will see you at the next workshop. Have a good night.